All right, guys. So we're doing the May-June paper 2, May-June 2019. So let's start. Question number 1A says, using a calculator or otherwise, evaluate each of the following. So we're going to work this out. What I have here is 2 1/4 minus 1 3/5 divided by 3. Now, the question says using a calculator or otherwise. It means that if you have a calculator that you can type this exactly the way you're seeing it in your calculator and then press equal and get the answer and just write it down, that is okay. Because the question says using a calculator or otherwise. All right, I'm going to do the otherwise. All right, so let's work this out. So I'm going to write this as what? 2 1/4 minus 1 3/5. That's my numerator, divide by 3. Next, I'm going to convert all mixed numbers to improper fraction. So now I have 4 2s 8 and 1 9/4 minus 5 1s 3 5 1s 5 and 3 8/5. This is still my numerator. Divide by 3, which is the same as saying 3/1. If I'm adding or subtracting fractions and the denominators are different, I must find the LCM. So the LCM here is going to be 20. All right, so next I'm going to say 4 goes into 20 5 times. 5 times 9 is 45. Minus 5 into 20 is 4. 4 times 8 is 32. Divide by 3/1. So now I'm going to remove my bracket. I have 45 minus 32 is 13/20. And dividing by 3 is the same as saying multiply by 1/3. All right, so now I'm multiplying two fractions. Now, if you're multiplying two fractions, what you should do is that you should cancel. But if nothing can cancel, you're going to multiply numerator by numerator and denominator by denominator. So here nothing can cancel, so I'm going to multiply 13 times 1 is 13. And 20 times 3 is 60. So that should be our final answer. The final answer there is 13/60. Let's go to the II part of the question. It says, continuing the same heading, using a calculator or otherwise, you're going to write the value of this or evaluate 2.14 sine 75 degrees. So all you would simply do with that is just simply put that in a calculator and press equal. And when you do, you should write your answer to 2 decimal places. Now, to 2 decimal places, you put 0.14 sine 75 degrees in your calculator. To 2 decimal places, the answer is going to be 2.07, and this is to 2 BP. So all you do is just simply put that in a calculator and press equal. All right, here B says Irma's take-home pay is 4,320 per fortnight, and the put in bracket per fortnight means every 2 weeks. Each fortnight, Irma's pay is allocated according to the following table. So we see that for rent, Irma allocates X dollar out of her pay for rent. For food, she allocates $629. Other living expenses 2X, savings 1,750, and her total our net income per fortnight is 4,320. All right, so the key here is to remember that this is our allocation of our pay for every 2 weeks. Next, it says, what is Irma's annual take-home pay? Well, what I would do here is I would start out by saying, what is our weekly pay? Our weekly pay would be 4,320 divided by 2. So 4,320 is what she gets every 2 weeks. So every week she gets 2,160. All right. So now there are 52 weeks in a year, and you're told that, you're given that information. So if I know, so annually now, what is our annual take-home pay would be the amount she earns every week, which is 2,160, multiplied by the number of weeks in the year, which is 52. So annually, Irma takes home $112,320. Not difficult. Moving on. It says, determine the amount of money that Irma allocates for rent. So for rent, Irma allocates X dollars. X dollars every fortnight. All right. So what we want to know is how much she allocates for rent every month. Determine the amount of money that Irma allocates for rent each month. Well, in order to solve that, the first thing we need to do is to find out what is X. All right. So to find that out, we're going to use form an equation, use the information we're given in the table to form an equation that X plus 629 plus 2X plus $1,750 is equal to her fortnightly pay, which is $4,320. All right, so all we have to do is just solve that equation. All right, so X plus 2X is 3X. 629 plus 1,750 is 2,379. And that is equal to 4,320. Positive 2,379 goes over to the right and become negative. So 3X so we have 3X is equal to, when you subtract, you're going to get 1,941. Then I'm going to simply divide both sides by 3. And when we do, we're going to get that X is equal to $647. So the amount of money she allocates for rent every fortnight is $647. Now, assuming that there are 4 weeks in a month, and every 2 weeks she puts aside $647 for rent. So the amount allocated for rent per month would be 647. That's the amount every 2 weeks, and there are two weeks in a month, so you multiply this by 2. And the amount of money she puts away from rent every month is $1,294. All right, guys, you want to always, when you're doing questions, so read the question carefully. They didn't ask how much she puts away for month every fortnight. They asked her how much she puts away for rent every month. So you have to multiply the amount she puts away for a fortnight by 2 to get the amount she would be putting away per month. Hear this now. It says all of Irma's savings. So remember, please remember, you're going to ask the questions afterward. After I'm finished, you can ask questions. All of Irma's savings is used to pay her son's university tuition cost, which is $150,000. It says if Irma's pay remains the same and she saves the same amount each month, what is the minimum number of years that she must work in order to save enough money to cover her son's tuition? So Irma is saving, let us see how much Irma saves weekly. So weekly Irma saves 1,750. That's the amount she saves every fortnight. Divide by 2. So weekly Irma is saving 1,750 divided by 2. She's saving $875 every week. All right, let us see how much she saves per year. So annually, this would be 875 multiplied by 52, because there are 52 weeks in a year. And we get, every year she saves $45,500. So she needs now, she has a total of, so number of years. So she has a total of $150,000 to pay. She's using her savings to pay it. She's saving $45,500 every year. So to cover the tuition, she would have to save a total of 150. That's the total amount of money. Divide by the amount she saves every year. So it's 150,000. Divide by 45,500. According to this, she has to save for 3.3 years. She has to save for 3.3 years in order to cover her son's tuition of $150,000.